Hello Namibia, and welcome to your daily lunchtime show where we get to catch up on current events and headlines that are in the news. My name is Priska Anyolo and you are watching NMH at 1. In today's show, our video inserts come from Windhoek and deal with tourism, politics and the election scheduled for November 2020. The total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Namibia by Sunday stood at 861. By Saturday, more than 13,000 individuals have been tested for the novel coronavirus. The total of more than 12,000 and the 11,000 mark were respectively reached last Thursday and the Monday before that. According to data published by the Namibia Statistics Agency, no new contacts were traced in the Orongo region for the 4 days from Thursday to Sunday. A total of 830 individuals were tested in this region over the same 4 days. This is about half of the 1,000 tests processed for these 4 days. Namibia Tourism Director Sam Shikongo visited the Hosea Kutaku International Airport yesterday afternoon to assess facilities for the planned welcoming of foreign tourists from selected countries. Christine Kruger of Republican captured part of his message.
But perhaps the question is, are we doing the right thing for the right reasons? Are the reasons right why we are opening up? And there are those that will see the tourist as potential hazard. They will go out to communities. They may be threatened by the communities if we don't give the right messages. And there we have to ask the media and those in social media to communicate strategically and wisely. Because as I started off, I said, we are at crossroads. None of us has seen this coming, and it's impacting on all of us. And yes, it's a pilot. A pilot is a testing period where you experiment, trying to mitigate for all the variables humanly possible. And if it works, it means livelihoods are secured. If there is a challenge, it means it gives us an ability to adapt, to learn by doing and improve upon that. You have seen the airport. It's a construction site. It's challenging times. They have done what we have seen. You be the judge for yourself whether it is good or not. And let us then therefore stand together once more as Team Destination Namibia. This cannot be done by government alone, neither by the private sector alone, but it can be done if Namibians stand together with one heart, one prayer, that all will be well if we all work together, if we all stand together with one vision, one aim, to secure our socio-economic development, our cultural integrity, and protect our peace, democracy, and sovereignty. All those things are at stake. It is in your hands to decide at these crossroads, which road do we take? Thank you.
The Landless People's Movement's leader, Bernardo Swartboy, asked accused persons in the fish rot scandal to set themselves free by honestly exposing all those involved. Jemima Beerkus of the Namibian Sun captured this footage.
SWAPO Party, the Southwest African People's Organization, has said to you, Bernard Eso, Saki Shangala, and everybody, that you are on your own. You don't matter to them anymore. Southwest African People's Organization is making you the sacrificial lambs in this whole saga. But the networks are still intact. Be brave. Be honest. Set yourself free with the truth. Applications for bail is not your answer. You know you want to get out of prison. That is not the biggest answer to your challenges. Look at your innermost. Reflect on what you have done and free yourselves, mind and spirit, from the clutches of this evil pandemic called corruption. You are still young. You can still enjoy productive lives after you have told Namibians what has happened.
With regional council and local authority elections scheduled for later this year, the Popular Democratic Movement wants to further build on the increased support it gained during the November 2019 polls. Jemima Beerkus attended the PDM's executive committee meeting. Party President McHenry Venani, sorry about that, it is McHenry Venani, emphasized the importance for the official opposition to mobilize mass support.
We need to raise a national movement from the ground, mobilizing with all we have at our disposal and marshalling the courage and stamina to prepare for the battlefield. The survival of any movement is hinged on its ability to mobilize the grassroots and create a consistent interface between the center and the populace. Information sharing and broader consultations are key ingredients in strengthening a mass-based movement. As we are building a mass-based movement, all these ingredients must be central to our strategy. As we are meeting for the purpose to debate, to craft a nomination procedure for would-be candidates representing the local and semi-urban centers of our country as well as the regional candidates in the upcoming election, let's do so in realizing the fact that a future cannot come by itself.
The COVID-19 pandemic will create challenges for the November 2020 elections, and voter education will be more important than ever. Steffi Balsa of the Allgemeine Zeitung interviewed Panduleni Ngipandua of the Namibia Institute of Democracy, NID.
Hi everyone, my name is Panduleni Ngipandua and I work for Namibia Institute for Democracy. Now, I just want to talk about elections and how COVID-19 has affected the upcoming local and regional authority elections that we expect to have here in Namibia. So we are living in unprecedented times. We've never had this COVID before, and as you all know, we have elections scheduled for November this year. Now, with COVID-19 and the social distancing regulations, it makes it quite difficult to conduct elections because, as you all know, usually the people who are contesting in elections are usually out there campaigning, out in the streets with their supporters, and also when it comes to elections and voting itself, usually the public is expected to queue up, stand in long queues and then go vote. But with COVID-19, it makes it very, very, very difficult to conduct elections. Now, some countries, like recently in Malawi, they had elections and they just elected a new president. Some countries were also supposed to have elections, but they chose to postpone. So how that affects everything is that some people who were in leadership positions, that terms ended. In some countries, they were forced to continue for 2 or 3 months until such a time that the country could host elections. Now, with Namibia, the elections are still scheduled for November, and the Electoral Commission of Namibia is trying to find ways to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 while we have elections. As you all know, there was controversy regarding the EVMs for last year's elections, the presidential and national assembly elections. So this time we're going to use, because the court ruled that the use of the EVMs without a verifiable paper trail is unconstitutional. So as a result, we're going to vote using ballot papers. Now, And as NID, we do an election support program where we educate voters about elections. So we were also supposed to be out there now, along with the ECM, educating the public about ballot papers. Because previously we told them how to use EVMs and so on and so forth. But now with the change to ballot papers, it makes it a bit difficult because we can't run as many programs as we wanted to because of social distancing. And yeah, it makes it a bit difficult to conduct these elections. But NID is working in collaboration with the ECN to try to see how we can go around educating the public, and also ECN trying to see how they can conduct elections without really uh, um, helping the spread of the COVID-19 virus. So yes, it has affected education and other industries as well. Like COVID-19 definitely has an effect on elections.
This news just came in from the health minister of a death that occurred on Saturday of a 44-year-old male who passed away in his home in Walvis Bay. And thus far, there have only been 2 other cases that have been reported. But in other news that are leading Namibia's print media today, the Namibian Sun reports that thousands of employers and tens of thousands of employees have applied for salary and wage assistance from the Social Security Commission. Applications are still being evaluated for eligibility. In Republican, you can read a personal account of what it is like to live inside the COVID-19 facilities in Walvis Bay. A patient who already tested negative once is afraid she's getting sick again while waiting on her release. In German, the Allgemeine Zeitung reports about the High Court decision which found changes to the National Assembly party list of the official opposition, the PDM, to be illegal and unconstitutional. Today's issue of Market Watch, part of all NMH dailies, focus on continued calamities surrounding the planned empowerment criteria set forth in the NEEEF bill, while manufacturers say the scrapping of tax incentives will hamper much-needed job creation. The Namibian reports on individuals sued to recover money of the bankrupt SME bank, while New Era, amongst others, brings you up to date on some school attendance in grades for which face-to-face learning restarted last week. And welcome back. From the inside pages of Namibia's daily newspapers, Namfisa Republican reports will phase out price differentiation in the cost of medical aid by the end of 2023 in order to root out unequal treatment of fund members. Allgemeine Zeitung reports on quarantine measures for vessels docking at Walvis Bay and the shift system used to exchange seafarers on duty. According to New Era, the former Minister of Health, Dr. Richard Kamwe, is excelling as a crop farmer. They visited him on his farm recently. On the art page of the Namibian, read about a lockdown exhibition that starts at the National Art Gallery today. Work will be open for viewing until the end of July. From the Namibian Sun, we grab a bit of sports news. Cricket Namibia has officially approved a league competition for players 40 years and older. This will, amongst others, allow for more regular international participation at the veteran level of this sport. In Namibia Media Holdings newspaper today, you can get your free annual restaurant and DIY guide, as well as homework for pre-primary learners printed in English and Afrikaans. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Priska Anyolo, and you were watching NMH at 1, and we wish you a super Tuesday. Please do stay tuned for the weather ahead.